Excellency.
Walikuwa wanadanganya watu tu ati hasla. Sasa imeenda wapi sasa? Sasa si upumbavu hiyo.
Hey, hasla gani? Na Raila Amolo Odinga pia alikuwa ametupromise ya kwamba wakati ambapo ataingia uongozini atakuwa anapeana 6,000 Kenyan shillings kwa kila mtu. And now Raila Odinga ako ndani ya serikali. Why is it that hawezi force William Ruto wapeane watu 6,000 Kenyan shillings? Because alikuwa ametuambia kifaulu kuingia, hiyo ndio ilikuwa kwa manifesto yake.
Nataka kusimama na nyinyi ili tuhakikisha kwamba haki yenu imepatikana. Sisi tulisema maskini watapata 6,000. Sisi tulisema nguruwe 6. Sisema nguruwe 6. Sivyo? Na elimu vile vile tutasema watu watasoma bure, sio? Hiyo tulikuwa tunajua mpango pale pesa itatoka. Hawa jamaa walikuwa hawana mpango yoyote.
Unaona watu wangu? So mambo yamechemka. And kwa hii video nataka nikupeleke moja kwa moja up to pale Karen Lang'ata, wakati ambapo William Ruto na Raila Amolo Odinga wamekutana pamoja. Ani mambo yalichemka pale. Gen Z walianza Ruto must go pale chini, wakati William Ruto alikuwa anapeana speeches zake. Same to Raila Amolo Odinga. Watu wakaanza chaos pale chini. Because ukiangalia vizuri Raila Odinga hajazungumzia mambo ya BBC documentaries, William Ruto the same. So ama jamaa wanajaribu kucheza na akili ya Wakenya. Hiyo ndio kitu saizi Raila Amolo Odinga kama angekuwa nje ya serikali angekuwa ameshazungumzia kwamba William Ruto anafaa pelekwe ICC. Unaona watu wangu, ama hawa majamaa especially IGs waweze kupelekwa ICC because wao ndio walikuwa na control hawa KDF. Hao ndio walikuwa na control police officers kuendelea kushambulia peaceful demonstration ambayo ilikuwa ina demonstratiwa hiyo wakati 25th of June 2024. Unaona watu wangu? So mambo yamechemka pale. And I don't want you to swipe up this video. Nataka uangalie jinsi ambavyo kumeharibika. But guys, ensure me like video pia kama kawaida. Hii channel imekuwa ikisupportiwa na wewe na imekuwa ikishikiliwa na wewe, so sina budi ila nikusema thanks so extensive kuendelea kusupport hii channel. Na zile moments tena guys, mnaenda kuchukua kulike video, acha Mungu uweze kuonekana na kutetea kwa kila jambo ambalo unalifanya kwa menajili ya kufanikiwa hapa nchini Kenya. Kwa hivyo guys, kabla kwanza uangalie jinsi ambavyo mambo yalichemka, sikiza kwanza speech za hawa majamaa Raila Odinga na William Samoei Arap Ruto, kisha tuendelee na mazungumzo zaidi.
Comrades, power. Thank you very much. We are happy to be here this morning. I came actually at the invitation of one of the guests here, my daughter, Rosemary Odinga, who had been invited to come here. Rosemary, you want to stand up so that they can wave? The one who invited me. So like I'm a gate crusher. But this is Lang'ata, which is home. So I'm very happy to be here. And I really want to begin first by congratulating the young man here, the new chancellor of the Cooperative University, a very, very promising young man, Dr. Bernard William Shitunga. Hongera. I have, since I came here, seen very many interesting things and exciting. We talk all the times about development. The development will not come on its own. It has to be initiated. The cooperative movement in the world has been a very major force for transformation of societies. It is one that has been used to actually fight poverty around the world. Because cooperative actually promotes saving. And saving is very important in terms of wealth creation. When you save, you can be able to invest. I said earlier on, this is what we call the vicious cycle of poverty. That, oh, I am poor, and therefore I cannot save. I cannot save, therefore I cannot invest. I cannot invest, therefore I cannot develop. Hence I'm poor. You must make a deliberate effort to break that poverty cycle. And if you break that poverty cycle, then you can be able to develop as a society. It's very important. So you need to think out of the box. And I listen very carefully to Dr. Chitunga as he was talking here. I said, this is somebody who is thinking out of the box. And this is what is going to help us, our country. Africa is the richest continent on the planet Earth. Yet the paradox is that the richest continent is also the poorest in terms of living conditions of its people. We don't have to be permanently poor. And we don't have to be going around to be begging. We can be able to do what is called value addition to what we produce in our country here. You can be able to exploit the resources that we have and transform them to create wealth for our people. This is what is most important. And this is what can only happen if you are thinking out of the box. And therefore, I've been very, very impressed by what I've seen here this morning, what I've heard here. Let us now ensure that what is being promised here will be implemented. If you do that, you will change this institution, and you will also change Kenya. And you will make Kenya move to where we want to go. That is, Kenya, we want Kenya to move away from poverty. We had talked of 2030. We are now only 5 years away from 2030. But if we are determined, it can be done. And this is actually my message to our people. I'm happy to be here. Congratulations, Competitive University, for what you're doing here. Thank you very much. Maybe, you're ready to, thank you very much.
Citizens, patriotic citizens, who will do their best, stop at nothing in the transformation of the country. Finally, when I was in China with this good friend, many people thought, oh, William Ruto has gone to negotiate for more loans. Yeah, listen to me and listen to me carefully. You heard this young man speak here. He has not said he's going to look for loans. He has not said he's going to look for money for government. He has said he's coming to me to look for no objection, letter of support. Because he wants to transform this place using private-public partnerships. And you have seen him with some of the partners that he's going to work with. That is the way to the future. The road we have, you saw listed from Rironi all the way to Malaba through Nakuru, is not going to be built. Is not going to be built using loans to the government of Kenya. Unasikia? It is going to be built using a toll infrastructure, public-private partnership, investment. That is what is going to build that road. The railway you saw put in the framework that we negotiated in China, from now Naivasha all the way to Uganda, is also going to be built not by loans to the government of Kenya, but it's going to be built by investments. Let me also tell you that we have developed alternative financing mechanisms that do not take the country the route of loans that could endanger the future of our country. And I have been resolute in saying that we must find alternative financing mechanisms. Today, You have heard the announcement in our housing fund program. We have decided as government to support the education sector with student hostels. And Cooperative University is going to be a beneficiary. We're going to have a hostel facility here that will accommodate 2,520 students. It's going to happen in every university in Kenya and every Tibet, and we are going to finally go to every Kenya Medical Training Center. Our first batch of investment is to build hostel spaces for 130,000 students in universities, colleges, and Tibet. That money is not money that is borrowed, right? It's not loans. We're not going to build a hostel for you here using loans. We are going to use money we have raised, our own local resources. That is how to build the country. It is the money we are using to build all the housing units. It's the money we are using to build 400 markets, not loans, resources raised by Kenyan taxpayers. That is how we are going to change this country, good people. So, I don't mind the accompanying ceremonies, but we must transform the nation. And it has to take some bold thinking, bold action to take ourselves into the future. And that's why I'm very encouraged to see a young man from Kenya working as an international servant, bringing that oomph and expertise and knowledge and courage to our country. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to say accordingly, we are implementing a sustainable higher education funding model, as I said earlier, to ensure every learner has an opportunity to be their best. The cooperative model is central in our economic transformation.
Unaona watu wangu? So hawa majamaa wameanza kujidefend. Raila Odinga is defending William Ruto and William Ruto is defending Raila Amolo Odinga. And don't forget nilikwambia Raila Odinga alikuwa anatupeana promises kwamba tutakula 6,000. So hiyo 6,000 imeendea wapi? Si ameingia ndani ya serikali ya William Ruto. Na ajali chochote, even upande wa Nyanza, ngome yake, Raila Odinga ajali anything pale. Unaona watu wangu, mabarabara ziko na maproblem, nini iko na maproblem, but Raila Odinga anaangalia tumbo yake peke yake. That's why unaona sasa hii generation inasema kwamba even if Raila Odinga atakuwa pale ndani na William Ruto support William Ruto 2027, hawataki kujali because Raila Odinga amefanya blanda kubwa tena zaidi ya kujoin William Ruto. Na Raila Odinga ilikuwa aache legacy hapa nchini Kenya, but hakuna legacy Raila Odinga anaachanisha.
There was actual psychological effect on me following the demonstration because seeing what I saw in front of the parliament, the blood all over the ground.
This is serious. Let's debunk the BBC documentary. Number one, they did not even speak about the Zimmerman, Rongai, Githurai, Kitengela shootings.
Anger, frustration, nimetukanana hapa hivi, Ruto pops up and I just insulted the screen automatically. The tears, I've cried because just seeing that mother by the graveside, speechless.
Yeah, I know you cried during that documentary, but remember, that was just the tip of the iceberg.
A big shout out, okay, to BBC for the good work. Inaitwaga job well done.
Yes.
Yani unaona kwamba mwanahabari amechukua muda wake,
Amejituma,
akafanya upelelezi,
upekuzi,
akapekua, akachunguza. Wanasema wametumia pictures
Ndio.
over 1,500.
ndio,
Pictures kuangalia tu kwa mwaka mzima Mwashumbe.
ndio.
Ndo nimeelewa the real definition of due diligence. So mtu akikwambia I will do my due diligence, lazima afanye kama BBC. Those people, they were very thorough Imagine they are calculating the length between the shooter and the protester. The camera angle. Wanachukua protector wanakuwekea pale, wanakuambia the angle was 60 degrees. Toka kwa protester mpaka kwa the shooter. Wanacalculate the circumference to volume ratio. Wanacalculate the camera angle in a 360 form. Wanaizungusha kamera hivi. Yani,
kila jambo lina siku ambapo litafichuka. Kila jambo lina siku ambapo litafichuka. Exactly. Ndio kibwagizo chao. Ndio. Sasa pale katika story ya last year 25th of June wamepekua na wakaangalia na wakatuonesha kulingana na wao na uchunguzi wao. Exactly. Na iko katika mtandao wa YouTube. Ni nani haswa alikuwa anatumia live bullet kuwaua Gen Z wakati wa maandamano.
Unajua sisi kama wa Kenya hasira yetu ilikuwa inatulia. Tulikuwa tunaenda tukitulia, lakini hatukuwa tumesahau. Msisahau hivyo, okay? So msiseme BBC sijui wamekuja wakascript wakafanya nini. Hiyo kitu yenye wamepost hiyo ndo ilifanyika. Are we together? Okay? Na sisi kama wa Kenya we know hakuna mtu anatuprotect. Tunajua hivyo. Everyone anajaribu kutafuta venye utaumiza wa Kenya wenye tumezaliwa kwa hii nchi, si ndio? Lakini acha niwaambie ukweli, hakuna mse ataishi milele. Na hizo power zenyu zenye mko na kiburi nazo zitakuja isha. Kwa pamoja hadi hapo? So watoto wenye waliuliwa na hii government, hiyo damu mtakuja lipia siku moja.
This documentary gives me hope because even as Kenya and the political ruling class do whatever they want to do, the world is still watching. And that makes me have like a small bit of hope because at least those people who died will be avenged. Not all of them, but they will be avenged.
Yani iko wazi kabisa, wanaiweka wazi. Ni huyu alikuwa amevaa hichi kiatu Mwashumbe. Alikuwa amevalia kofia yake na ameweka hivi. Sura yake ndio hii. Sura yake ndio hii. Na anapatikana katika kituo cha polisi hiki. Kabisa. Huyu ni mwanajeshi. Kabisa. Na kuthibitisha kwamba ni mwanajeshi, angalia magwanda yake yale ambayo amevaa. Ni ya kijeshi. Baji yake ni ya kijeshi. Iko tu katika idara ya wanajeshi peke yake. Kabisa. Angalia viatu vyake.
Wameapply statistics. Wakeka ile match and mismatch. Huyu anaweza kuwa ni yeye ama huyu si yeye. Waka-apply probability. Waka-apply ntuanga nini? Geometry. Anakuambia angle, distance, the volume, the what, everything. That is now the due diligence.
I have issues. Number one, I have learned the power of OSINT, open source intelligence, that was used by BBC to pinpoint the cops that were used to shoot at young people. My question, though, is why are our investigative bodies not using OSINT or whatever technology that Kenya has to catch the police that killed the young people?
BBC Africa have exposed what police will have taken 10 years to investigate. I don't know if it's the issue is the police or that hiyo kitu yenye ina investigate it's not supposed to be found out.
Hawa ambao wamefanya kazi hii katika BBC, si tuandike kazi tu aipoa. Okay? Si tuwalete aipoa. Kuje tu aipoa, manake aipoa sasa ni kukunywa tu kahawa na kusoma magazeti. Manake aipoa kazi yake kubwa ni kuchunguza, kupeleleza vitendo vya kiovu ambavyo idara ya polisi wanafanya. Yani kwa ufupi, it is an investigative institution.
Why hasn't IPOA put out a case against these police officers? I mean, if a media house can track the police officers that shot at young people, why is it hard for the investigative body that is IPOA?
Kama hawa wa BBC, hawa ni wanahabari. Unajua wale si investigators. Exactly. Hawa ni wanahabari. Ndio. Wana stories mingi wanacover. So wanacover stories zingine kule UK, Trump huku nini. Wana shughuli mingi za habari. Yes. Lakini bado wameweza kutuonesha kulingana na wao. Ndio. Aliyewaua Gen Z on the 25th of June. IPOA nao si wanahabari. Kazi yao ni moja tu, kuchunguza. Kuangalia vitendo vya polisi. Moja tu peke yake. Yaani unaamka asubuhi unavaa suti na tai Mwashumbe, kazi yako ni ngapi? Hiyo peke yake. Moja tu. Kuangalia vitendo vya polisi hapa nchini Kenya na kuchunguza. Na kubainisha. Mpaka leo hii. Na kazi yako ni moja tu. That's one job. Exactly. Mimi ningekuwa Rais Ruto, ningekuwa nimewafuta wote kazi.
Sad that it had to be done by an international media house, while we have several in the country. You know, when I was studying journalism, we were told that we are the watchdogs. For who? The government. But what did we do after the killings? Oh, nothing.
If this story had been done by a local media station, would the journalists survive? Because even BBC did not put credits of the local journalists used in that investigation. Why? Fear of harassment. Why is it so hard that we speak about freedom of expression and speech, and yet in such issues like that, we are afraid because we know what would happen?
See, the more you watch the BBC documentary, the more angry you get and the more angles you see. Like how the members of parliament were in a rush to pass the finance bill inside bunge when outside young people were being murdered and shot at.
Hatuwezi kuwa tunaishi na uoga kwa nchi yenye tumezaliwa ndani. Hapana, sisi hatukukuja. Mimi si Burundi by the way. Mimi nimezaliwa huku. Na hiyo kitu imeoneshana kwa BBC, hiyo ndo kitu iko. Na hivyo ndo muko, hizo ndo tabia zenyu. Hakuna venye mnaweza protect Wakenya wenye wamezaliwa kwa hii nchi. Kazi yenu ni kujiprotect nyinyi wenyewe. Alafu kitu ikifanyika in script, hiyo ndio iko.
Kumbuka CS wa defense wakati ule Aden Duale aliweza kuamuru kwamba jeshi ikuje ishikilie doria kidogo. Unakumbuka hiyo time jeshi ikaanza kuachiliwa kushikilia doria hapa Nairobi.
I am part of the problem because how did we move on so fast from killings that much? Also, the Kenyan army was there. Aren't they trained and skilled to kill assassins? And you're sending them to kneel down and aim at kids. And finally, wacha nionge. Haya ndio maoni yangu. Maybe we should take that documentary, dub it in Swahili, a language that every Kenyan might understand. Add the clips from Githurai, Zimmerman, Kitengela, Rongai shootings. Add the clips of bodies being extracted from that swamp. And also add the fact that a lot of bodies had been collected to a point City Mortuary were accepting no more. And air it every day at 9 p.m. in these local channels. They might not, because probably they depend on this government to pay them. But I'm just saying.
So is there going to be justice? Are they going to be held to account? Because even as you watch towards the end of the video, they were like, yeah, we called government to changia siwalilenga. KDF, netting. Nobody's saying nothing.
We woke up on June 25th with our flag, the love for this country and a hope for a better country. We do not see each other along tribal lines, along political parties, along socio-economic status. We had one voice, one agenda. But if the young people that lost their lives on June 25th were to address us right now, would they be proud of the sacrifice they gave us, or would they be ashamed and disgusted of who we have become now? Have we forgotten and allowed the political class to divide us along political parties, along tribal lines? Have we forgotten we need to rise above the noise and do better, because our decision for 2022, our decision to give the people that we have now the instruments of power, led to this bloodshed? The KDF may have fired those guns, but our blood parliament and our choices in 2022 loaded those guns. And so what are we doing so that we ensure we never make those mistakes again and no more lives are lost ever?